Hello, my name's Duncan. Welcome to Incident Exposure. It's my little vlog about some stories from my journey and experience as a photographer and filmmaker. Oh God, it's freezing. Anyway, yeah, Incident Exposure. I'm feeling a bit exposed right now. But it's, simple thing. I was doing my end of year roundup 2025, talking about the jobs I've done that year. And I came to the realization of two things. First of all, it's 30 years since I graduated from college from studying photography. And secondly, maybe it's time I shared some experience with some people out there that might be interested, people starting out photography and other photographers. I think sometimes there's it can be a bit of a lonely business. And it's not the normal thing that people do. So we tend to either flock together or despise each other one way or the other. But I'm more of a supporter than a despiser, and I think I'd like to spread some positivity and a bit of fun along the way. Hopefully you'll find it amusing. So the first story I thought I'd talk about is the very first experience I had at a new college when I started studying photography. And I went to a college in Middlesbrough on the northeast coast, which was an awfully long way from where I grew up in Oxfordshire, and I got an unconditional entry into that college. How do you manage that? I have no idea, really, to be honest. We'd had a conversation about the estate, the tutors there, and they said, oh, there's a nice estate where you grew up. And like a fool, I thought, oh, they mean the housing estate. It's just a housing estate. But they didn't mean the housing estate, they meant Blenheim Palace, which is a beautiful country estate. And fortunately, I thought a little bit before I opened my mouth, and I said, oh yeah, Blenheim, yeah, it's all right. And before I knew it, they gave me an unconditional entry. Was it because of my warm and agreeable personality? Probably not. Was it because I was a guy sitting there with dreadlocks and looked like I might be a creative? Probably not. Was it the strength of my portfolio that I had from studying art at school and doing film studies? Probably not. Maybe they saw something, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But I think probably, in all honesty, it was about making the numbers up for their course so they could get the money from the college. But anyway, got me on the course and got my journey started. So there I was a few weeks later, heading off up 5 hours on the train to a very different place to where I grew up. It's a bit like this really, it's cold, but I'd have to say not quite as beautiful in my eyes. And this was the start of the 90s, it might have changed recently, Middlesbrough, but I doubt it. Pretty hard town, tough place, full of tough people, good people, but tough people, straight talking, which is a bonus, straight talking is something we need to do more of, I think. I cannot abide all that ghosting and all that stuff anyway, not going to get into it now, get into it another time. But one thing I always encourage my clients to do is just to be honest and open with me, and I'll encourage anybody viewing this the same way. Be honest, be open, let me know what you think. First of all, is Incident Exposure a good name for something? I've chosen it. It's going to stay, to be honest, but let me know what your thoughts are. And speaking of thoughts, what do you think about this? I'm going to fish around in my bag for a minute, fumble. Yeah, find my notebook, and I love a notebook. I do love a notebook. My current notebook's blue. I've got a bit of a thing about blue notebooks at the moment, but I've got them going back over decades, and I tend to keep them so that I can write any ideas or thoughts or brain farts I might have in, plans for things I'm building or what have you. I've got this silly idea that you've only got a certain amount of storage in your brain, and if you clog it up using things you can put in a book, there won't be room for anything else. Is that a fair philosophical idea? Anyway, look at that. What do you think of that? I'll scan it and I'll put it up and I'll tell you exactly what that is now. This is a contact sheet from the first assignment we got at college there at Middlesbrough, and it was to use a large format camera. In England we call it a 5.4 camera. I think in America it's called a 4.5 camera. And yeah, you might have seen them in old films. They're the cameras you put a cloth over your head. No, we didn't have that thing that goes next to you. We had a cloth over our head, the bellows extension in front of you and the lens, and you focused on this piece of ground glass at the back and put a dark plate in with your sheets of film ready to expose. And that is a contact sheet where you actually put those sheets of film onto the paper, film, and expose it, and then you can have a look and see what you've got. And as you can see, I think you can see the white on white a little bit better than the black on black. And that's because I saw somebody make a light tent. I thought, I'll copy that idea. Would I do it now? No, I wouldn't, because I know better. But then, it kind of worked. And the black on black, can you tell even it's a pineapple? Yeah, I sprayed a pineapple black. Yes, I ate it. I was a student, I was poor. Of course I ate it. And even though I didn't particularly like peppers back then, I ate that too. So yeah, is it a valid test? Of course it's a valid test. What it did was tell the tutors exactly where everybody was and their understanding about light and photography. And after all, photography is only recording light. And it helped us understand. And it was a good start to a journey. So now when people ask me, Duncan, you know, how should I start? What should I do? Can you help me learn? I'll say, yeah, shoot white on white and black on black and see where you can figure it out. And if you can get that separation. And there's the clue, separation. So everybody out there, whether you are a seasoned photographer or whether you are a starting photographer, I would strongly suggest, and I'd love to hear your experiences of it, go and get a white object or make one, get a black object or make one, use whatever light source you have available, whether it's available light coming through the window or a lamp or strobe or what have you, and go and make a picture of a black object on a black background, a white object on a white background, and let me know in the comments how you get on with it. I'd love to hear anything else you guys got to say about this and whether or not it's valid to talk about it. I just want to build a community, have a little bit of support and discuss some ideas and along the way, you know, little thoughts we might have philosophically or in this industry, how you feel it's going, the photography industry. Are you concerned about the things coming through, whether you're worried about AI or what have you? I can tell you now, I've been in it long enough to go through film into digital and now into this new era. And what I think is most important is that the community speaks to each other, not just the community of photographers, but the creative community as a whole, and support each other going forward. That's the most important thing. The generations above and the generations coming through, and help each other learn. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Is it an idea? Anyway, if you're interested, join in. Let's have a little journey together. And along the way, I'll tell you about some adventures in clubs, some adventures on motorbikes, some adventures traveling around the world and different places I found myself in, and the ups and downs of it all. All right, take it easy. Next time.